Greeting to all. Myself, Dr.M.Renukadevi, heading the Department of BCom Corporate Secretaryship. I'm going to cover the topic on cost accounting, meaning, elements, division of cost accounting, and preparation of cost sheet. Cost accounting meaning. Cost accounting is the classifying, receiving, and appropriate allocation of expenditure for the determination of the cost of products or services, and for the presentation of suitably arranged data for purposes of control and guidance of management. So that means it is useful to find out the total cost and also for the cost per unit for the product or services. That is called as an cost accounting. In financial accounting, you will find out the financial portion of the business, but in cost accounting, you can find out the total cost or the cost of production. Next, we will move on to elements of cost. So there are three elements of cost: material, labor, and also for an overheads. So the overhead is otherwise called as an other expenses. So the material is an important elements of cost. What is material means? That is an raw material. Without raw material, you cannot produce the product. So the material is an important element. After the material, the labor is an important one. Whatever the material and the machine you are having, the labor is an one important element. So without the labor, you cannot produce the product. So the labor is a second element of cost. Third one is an overhead. What is meant by overhead means? The overhead is a total of all indirect expenses. That is called as an overhead. We will see one by one. First one is in material. The material can be divided into two. One is in direct material and another one is an indirect material. What is direct material means? The material which are directly used for the production process. All the materials are called as a direct material. So that is a just opposite of the indirect material. The material which are not directly used for the production process that is called as an indirect material. Next we will move on to labor. So same, the labor can be divided into two. One is an direct labor and another one is an indirect labor. What is meant by direct labor means? The person, those who are directly involved in the production process, that particular labors are called as a direct labor. Next one is an indirect labor. So what is meant by indirect labor means? The particular labors are not directly involved in the process. So that labors are called as an indirect labor. Next one is an overhead. Already I told overhead means that is a total of indirect expenses. That is also divided into two, direct and also for an indirect. Direct means that is an direct expenses and also for the wages. Indirect overheads means it can be divided into four. First one is an works overhead. The works overhead is otherwise called as an factory overheads. Second one is an administration overhead. The administration overhead is otherwise called as an office overhead. Next one is in selling overhead. Then is in distribution overhead. Factory overhead. Say for an example of factory overhead is an wages of foreman, electric power, factory rent, factory lighting is an example for works overhead. Administration overhead means the expenses which are related to office. Example is an office lighting, manager salary, director's fees, etc. Next one is in selling overhead, that is related to selling expenses, that is in carriage outward, salesman salary, etc. Distribution overhead means that is in warehouse charges, advertising expenses, etc. So this all together is called as an indirect expenses or overheads. Next we will move on to division of cost. The cost sheet can be divided into four categories. Finally, in the cost sheet, you should find out either a net profit or net loss. What are the four division of cost means? Prime cost, factory cost, cost of production, total cost. Finally, you should find out the profit or loss. Prime cost. What is meant by prime cost means? That is a total of all direct expenses is called as a prime cost. The formula for finding out the prime cost is prime cost equal to direct materials plus direct labor plus direct expenses. That is in prime cost. Next, you should find out the works cost or factory cost. What is the formula for finding out the factory cost or works cost means? Prime cost. In this prime cost, you should add a factory expenses. That is your factory cost. Next division is in cost of production. So in this works cost, you should add an office expenses. That is in cost of production. Next division is in total cost or cost of sales. In this cost of production, you should add in selling and distribution overhead. Finally, you should find out the profit or loss. What is the formula for finding out the profit or loss means? Sales minus cost of sales. You will get either a profit or loss. Next, we will move on to specimen of cost sheet. That is in format of cost sheet. So how you should find out the prime cost, works, factory cost, cost of production, total cost, and also for the total sales net profit. So we will see first one by one. Prime cost is in direct material, direct labor plus direct expenses is in prime cost. In this prime cost, you should add a factory expenses, that is in factory cost. In this factory cost, you should add an office expenses, that is in cost of production. In this cost of production, you should add selling and distribution overhead. You will get a total cost or cost of sales. Finally, you should find out the profit or loss. In this total sales, you should minus your cost of sales or total cost. You will get either a profit or loss. Next, we will move on to sum. How you should prepare a cost sheet without statement. Assign the prime cost, works cost, cost of production, total cost and profit from the following. Direct material they are given is rupees 5,000. Direct labor is rupees 3,500. Factory expenses is rupees 1,500. Administration expenses is rupees 800. Selling expenses is rupees 700. Sales is rupees 15,000. Without statement, simply you should find out the prime cost, works cost, cost of production, total cost and also for the profit. So you should find out one by one. Prime cost. What is the formula for finding out the prime cost? Means prime cost plus direct labor. Direct material they are given in your sum is 5,000 plus direct labor is 3,500. The total is a prime cost. Then you should find out the works cost. So your prime cost is 8,500 plus your factory cost is 1,500. You should add both. You will get a works cost. Next, in this works cost, you should add your cost of production. Your works cost is 10,000. In this 10,000, you should add 800 is an administration expenses. Your cost of production is rupees 10,800. Next, we are going to find out the total cost. In this cost of production, you should add your selling and expenses. Your cost of production is 10,800. Your selling expense is 700. Your total cost is 11,500. Next, you should find out the profit. How you should find out the profit means sales minus total cost. Your sales they are given in your sum is 15,000. Your total cost you are found out is 11,500. So the sales minus total cost is your profit. Your profit is rupees 3,500. Automatically you should know that is in profit or loss. Your total cost is only 11,500. But you are sold at rupees 15,000. So 3,500 is your profit. Next we will move on to prepare a cost sheet. How you should prepare a cost sheet in a statement format. You should calculate the prime cost, factory cost, cost of production and cost of sales and also for the profit. They are given certain items in your sum. Direct material, direct labor, wages of foreman. Wages of foreman is an office expenses. That is the expenses which are related to factory. Wages of foreman is an factory expenses. Electric power. So the electric power also office expenses. Next one, lighting. Lighting they are given for the both factory and also for office. Factory lighting comes in the factory. Office comes in the office. Next one is in storekeeper wages. The storekeeper wages is in factory expenses. Oil and water. Oil and water also factory expenses. Rent they are given for both factory and also for an office. Repairs and renewals also for both factory and also for an office. Transfer to reserve, discount on shares written off, dividend, all are related to financial items. When the items which are related to financial items or which are appear in the profit and loss appropriation account, it is excluded from the cost accounting. It won't come in the cost accounting. Transfer to shares, discount on shares written off and also for the dividend that is related to the financial accounting, it won't come in the cost accounting. That is excluded in the cost accounting. Next, depreciation they are given for both factory and also for an office. Next one is in consumable stores. Consumable stores is related to factory expenses. Next one is in manager's salary. The manager's salary is in office expenses. Next, director's fees. The director's fees also office. Office stationery is also for office. Then telephone charges is also for office expenses. Postage and telegram. The postage and telegram also office expenses. Then salesman salary that is related to sales, that is in selling expenses. Traveling expense also related to sales, selling expenses. Advertising also selling and distribution. Warehouse charges is selling and distribution. Next, income tax that is related to tax, that is also excluded from the cost. Next one is in carriage outward. The carriage outward is related to selling and distribution expenses, that is comes in the selling. Next, finally, they are given the total sale value. This total sale value is 1,89,500. So, we will move on to cost sheet. How you should prepare a cost sheet. You should write heading statement of cost and profit. There are 3 columns: particular, inner column, and for outer column, amount in rupees. First, you should find out the prime cost. How you should find out the prime cost means direct material plus direct labor is your prime cost. Your direct material they are given in your sum is 1 lakh. Direct labor is 30,000. You should add both. You will get a prime cost is rupees 1,30,000. In this prime cost, you should add the factory expenses. That is in wages of foreman, electric power, lighting, storekeeper wages, oil and water, rent, repairs and renewals, depreciation, consumable stores. The total factory expense is 17,500. Your prime cost is 1,30,000. So your factory expense is 17,500. Your factory cost is 1,47,500. In this factory cost, you should add office expenses. So all the expenses which are related to office lighting, office rent, office repairs and renewals, depreciation, manager's salary, director's salary, office stationery, telephone charges, postage and telegram. These all are related to office expenses. You should add all these. So your total office expenses 11,875. Your factory cost is 1,47,500. Your office expense is 11,875. Your cost of production is 1,59,375. In this cost of production, you should add selling and distribution expenses. That is the expenses which are related to sales. Salesman salary, traveling expenses, advertising, warehouse charges, and also for the carriage outward. Your total selling expense is rupees 3,875. Your cost of production is 1,59,375. In this 1,59,375, you should add the selling expense is 3,875. You will get a total cost or cost of sales. Your total expense is only 1,63,250. But you are sold that particular product of sales is rupees 1,89,500. Automatically you should know that is in profit. The profit is rupees 26,250. That is in format for prepare a cost sheet. Thank you.